Welcome to another episode of Diane's Kitchen, where I show you how to cook vegan, vegetarian, and healthy Caribbean food. Guess what we will be making today? We are in the Christmas season, so we are going to be making the Jamaican fruit cake. Some people call it Jamaican cake, some people call it rum cake, some people call it fruit cake. I think it all boils down to the same thing, Jamaican rum cake. Come on, bake with me. All the ingredients and the amount are listed in the description, so be sure to go ahead and read that before you get started. So the first thing that we are going to be doing is creaming our butter and sugar. Be sure to save these because you're going to want to use these to grease your baking tins. This butter, I left it overnight so that it actually gets to room temperature. When you're baking, you want your butter to be very soft, not hard. So now that the butter is done, I'm going to be adding my brown sugar to this. And now I'm going to mix this. Let's lock it. I'm going to mix it at very low speed. So while my butter and sugar is being creamed, I am going to prepare the dry ingredients. This is baking powder. So I have my all-purpose flour and baking powder. It looks a lot, but you actually need like 4 tablespoons of baking powder. Now I'm going to be adding my cinnamon. Actually, that was nutmeg. This one is cinnamon. Next step, I'm going to be adding my mixed spice. Now, mixed spice normally contains cinnamon, baking powder, and cloves. I know that I am doubling up, but you know how I love my spice, and the cloves is going to give it a totally different taste. You also want to add a pinch of salt, and when I said pinch, this time I really mean pinch. Yes, pinch. You know, nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, cloves, very big part in baking Jamaican cake, or just in Jamaica overall, just baking. We love spice. So now I'm going to turn my attention back to my butter and sugar. I'm going to stop this for a little bit. And I'm going to scrape it down, because sometimes the sugar and the butter is on the side and it doesn't really cream everything. But we want everything to be creamed, you know? This looks so good already. It's supposed to be very fluffy. You want it to be light and fluffy and airy. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it, and now I'm going to increase the speed. So while the butter and sugar is being creamed, this is a great time to actually turn your oven on at 350 degrees. Mine is on, but guess what I'm going to do? I am going to set 2 pans of water in my oven. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to set this kind of like as a bath for the cake. I don't want the cake to be too dried out, and I don't want it to burn. So the water will cause it not to be dried out. And you want to set this on the lower rack. I'm mixing, trying to incorporate all the dry ingredients together, all the spices, because I don't want the spices to be settled on one place or in one place. So everything here looks like it's well mixed. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sifting. And the reason why I'm sifting is you want to incorporate here. You don't want all ingredients to be mixed together, but you want to incorporate air through it for it to be very, very fluffy and light. Airy. That's a better word. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sift this again. Just mix up the spice a little bit in the flour. So the recipe called for 4 cups of flour. I'm not using 4 cups of flour. I'm using 2 cups of flour. And then I'm going to be using 2 cups of breadcrumbs. Have you ever tasted some cake and it's like really heavy, like pudding? That's what I'm trying to avoid. So that's the reason why I'm using the breadcrumbs, because the breadcrumb causes it to be very cakey. It's very light. And of course I could not sift the breadcrumbs because the breadcrumbs would not go through the strainer. Now I'm just gonna mix everything up. Let me just taste this a little bit. Still could do with a little bit more beating as I taste the sugar grain. But let's grease our baking tin. See these how handy these come in? So now that we have greased our baking tin, it's now time to line our baking tin. I'm using wax paper. This is what you want to use. So you can do it 2 ways. You can put this on here, right? And you could just cut around it, or you could put the wax paper on top of it and do the same thing. Alright, this is going to go inside here. Some people actually don't line their baking tins, but it's better because you don't want the cake to actually stick to the pan, and then when you're ready to get it out, then it just breaks into pieces. I'm not a great waxer or great at doing this, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna try and put the butter directly onto the wax paper and see if it sticks a little bit better. It looks like it's working. Yeah, it worked. Oh, so happy. Okay, one down, one to go. Okay, so my mixture has been beaten for a little bit and I don't want it to be over beaten. So what I'm going to be doing is adding my egg mixture. But wherever you have so much eggs, it's bound to be raw. So this is what I'm going to be doing. This is the zest of 4 limes. So I'm going to mix it right into my eggs. And this also is the juice of the 4 lime. So you just want to beat this a little bit, not much, just beat it a little bit before you add it to the mixture. This is not working for me, I'm going to use a fork. Alright, so this is what I will be doing. Increasing the speed a little bit. I'm going to add this gradually. Just push it down a little bit. Use your spatula, just push it down a little bit. Baking can be a little bit messy at times. Another. Okay, so just let's go ahead and put our baking tins in the oven, because of course you don't want to put your cake in a cold baking tin. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, let's check on my mixture right here. Not quite finished yet. I'm just going to beat it up some more. This is what makes Jamaican cake Jamaican cake. This is raisins and all different kind of fruits, dried fruits that has been soaked in wine and rum, Jamaican 100% overproof rum, for like 2 years. 2 years. Oh my God, I wish you could smell it. It smells amazing. So, this is what I will be doing. I have my vanilla essence and I'm going to be adding my liquids to the fruit mixture. So I need 4 tablespoons of vanilla. of the vanilla is amazing. This is rose water. See, one. The burst of flavor that hits my nose. Wow. I'm gonna be adding my molasses to my mixture. Molasses is just burnt sugar. So I'm gonna be adding this. This alongside with the browning kind of give it the dark look that it have. And now I'm gonna be adding my browning, and you need 4 tablespoons of browning. Let's increase the speed a little bit so it can really mix in. Splash too much. Wow, this smells so good already. Okay, so just turn this off a little bit, open it up, and sometimes you have everything just settled up, like the sugar and stuff just settled up at the bottom, and you want to mix it up and make sure that it's all mixed in together. Lock it and just mix it. So I'm going to be adding a little bit more molasses and browning to it because it doesn't have the color that I want it to have. Yes, this is the color. Alright, let's finish this up. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to transfer this fruit mixture into a larger container, and I'm going to turn this off. So let's remove this, and I'm just going to remove all of this from here. And then I'm going to put this inside here. Mix it up. It smells so good. I just love smelling this. It smells so good. Okay, I think this is all mixed now. So for the final step, we are going to add the flour mixture. With this, you want to gradually add it, like around 4 to 5 different times, and you don't want to mix it, you want to fold it in. So fold it in, go around and fold it in until it's all mixed out. And of course my arms is getting a workout. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's try the other arm. Gonna balance it out. Okay, for the final. Everything. Finished now. The mixture is finished. I am going to pour this into the baking tin and bake it in the oven at 350 degrees for 1 hour. Let's do this! Alrighty, so these baking tins are hot and ready to go. So you're just gonna pour out the mixture. They're gonna be two nice size cake. Now, this is hot. This is what you want to do. You wanna shake it up a little bit, just press it down because you don't wanna have any air bubbles in the cake. All right, let's get these bad boys in the oven. My water is boiling and bubbling underneath there. Oh. Push them in the middle. All right. Let's do this. So, this is our Jamaican rum cake. It is ready. Nice. This is what your cake should actually look like when it's finished. I have this pre-sliced, and put down because I cannot cut into the cake because it's hot. Okay, so a few tips for you. Once you put the cake in the oven, do not open the oven because if you do, it is going to be flat. However, if you want to test the cake, wait until it's in the oven about 30 to 35 minutes so you know that it's already set. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a knife or a toothpick, insert it in the center of the cake. If it comes out clean, that means the cake is ready. But if it does not come out clean, we put the cake back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so this is really important. Once you take your cake out of the oven, you're going to spray it with wine and rum because the cake is hot, so it's going to really absorb the wine and rum. This in my hand is half white rum and half red label wine. This is what it looks like. So what I'll be doing next is spraying my cake all over, and it's just going to absorb it because it's hot. What I am going to do is that I am going to wrap this cake and leave it until Christmas. So I'm going to put wine on it like every 2 or 3 days. I'm going to wine it. And voila! This is what your cake should look like. Enjoy! Thank you so much for watching me baking this traditional Jamaican Christmas cake. I hope yours turned out to be really well and I hope you enjoy it. I want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks again for watching.